Unquestionably, when the first shot was fired, I recognized it as a shot. I thought of nothing else but that it was a rifle shot. I turned to my right. I had time to think. I had time to react. And I turned to my right to look back over my right shoulder to see if I could see anything unusual, and particularly to see if I could catch him out of the corner of my eye. Because I immediately thought...
Him, you mean
the president.
The president.
Because I immediately thought of an assassination attempt. The moment I heard the shot, I didn't see anything except just the general blur of waving of people moving, but nothing really unusual. I did not see the president out of the corner of my eye, and I was in the process of turning back to look over my left shoulder, and had about come to the point where I was looking straight forward again when I felt the impact of the bullet that hit me. I am convinced beyond any question of a doubt that the first shot that was fired did not hit me. Then I was hit.
Moments before Kennedy was first wounded. On the grassy knoll as the shape...
He died of a gunshot wound in the brain, of a bullet right through the head.
John Kennedy was obviously shot from the front. Everybody knows it. Virtually everybody in Dealey Plaza rushed to the grassy knoll where they heard the sounds.
It came from a fence between the book depository and the railroad track.
From behind the overpass over there, triple overpass.
Right over about 20 or 30 feet from the other end of that little picket fence.
And it sounded like it came from the left and in front of us, towards the wooden fence. And there was a puff of smoke that came underneath the trees.
We all four seen about the same thing as the shots. The smoke came from behind the hedge.
And then as the car got directly in front of us, well, a gunshot apparently from behind us hit the president side of the temple.
Do you think the first gunshot came from behind you, too?
I think it came from the same location. Apparently back up on the mall.
When I stated I felt like the second and third shots could not have been fired from the same rifle, they reminded me that I wasn't an expert.
There was, 3 or 4 real close together, and it was, must have been the first one that shot him, because that's when that was the time I took the picture, and during that time, after I took the picture, and the shots were still being fired, I decided I'd better get on the ground. I was, no more than 15 foot from the car, and in line of fire, evidently.
Just as Mary started to take the picture and the president came right even with us, 2 shots, we looked at him and he was looking at a dog in the middle of the seat. 2 shots rang out and he grabbed his chest and a look of pain on his face and fell across toward Jackie, and she fell over on him and said, "My God, he's shot." And there was an interval, and then 3 or 4 more shots rang out. By that time, the motorcade had sped away.
In the vicinity of the 2 men, there was a flash of light, there was something which occurred which caught my eye in this immediate area on the embankment.
Ed Hoffman, a deaf mute, standing by the next overpass, had a clear view behind the picket fence.
A cigarette. He was smoking a cigarette. And then a little bit later, he saw more smoke, and he saw the man turn around, and he had a gun in his hand, or a rifle. Saw him turn. He turned towards the area where he was standing, and he saw him run and throw the gun to a man that was wearing a railroad uniform. And the man took the gun apart and put it in a bag behind the railroad controls, the box there. And then he was frightened. He knew something was going on. And he started waving for a police officer. He saw a security guard or a Secret Service. He wasn't sure what he was, but he was trying to get his attention and tell him what he had saw. And the man turned his gun towards him, and it frightened my father, so he left.
Other witnesses heard shots from the rear. Photographs taken immediately after the killing showed a plainclothesman picking up a bullet. Others showed a ricochet off the sidewalk, fired away from the direction of the book depository. James Tague, standing by the triple underpass in front of the limousine facing the depository, was hit by flying lead or concrete. A bullet hole was found in the dashboard of the presidential limousine. There was a nick in the windshield. And only as a result of another subpoena was Garrison able to obtain the film of Abraham ZAPRUDER. A jury of American citizens would see the ZAPRUDER film for the first time in its entirety.
All any intelligent person, even a child, has to do is look at the ZAPRUDER film. After the shot hits him in the head, the critical shot, John Kennedy goes backwards towards the back of the car. So he's almost blown out of the back of the car. John Kennedy was obviously shot from the front. Everybody knows it, and especially the government.
Moments before Kennedy was first wounded. On the grassy knoll is a shape resembling a black dog. Photo analyst Bobby Hunt.
It is a black shape, apparently the head and shoulders of a man. In the region of what we'd call the face, there was some pink tones, purported to be flesh tones. And there was also an object which looked like a rifle with a flash suppressor or a nozzle on the rifle. But we concluded that this was a human being. That conclusion was derived from the enhancement and from some color spectrographic analysis we did on the visible flesh tones of the object. We did not conclude, however, that that was a rifle. We simply said it was consistent with a blur induced by the motion of the photograph.